Seasick, eh? Good. Old Maldemarier CK has softened you up for the chill. Now your vault keeper is ready to put you on ice with a grippingly graphic account of a greedy goon who drubbed his way into a dive. He was a real gone guy when he was through, so come into the vault of horror and listen to this eerie episode I call Burial at Sea. Your name is Barney Hogue. You've always craved solitude, and now you've found it on this bleak, lonely, windswept, sun-tortured Florida Key. This grim acre of unpeopled paradise. You guide your old car into a sandy, bristling palmetto patch and unload your gear. It's like another world. My own private world. It's just what I've been looking for. Sweltering in a sea of sweat, sagging under the load of fishing tackle, bait box, food hamper, and gallon jug of water, you find temporary relief in the shade of gaunt, long needle pines as you trudge toward the glaring white beach. You pass a line of silent palms left leaning landward by some long-ago violent wind that had once roared by, and, unloading your equipment onto the burning sand, you study the curiously shaped, grotesque mangrove trees, their exposed snake-like roots intertwining, growing from the brine at the shore. Beyond, the turquoise Atlantic rests tranquilly between tides. Soon, hook-baited, feet bared, you tread far out over the sand and coral bottom before reaching knee-high water. You begin to surf cast, and all is peace and quiet except for the sound of a fish nearby, leaping from the sea. You turn at the sound and see no fish, but an almost naked, bearded, berry-brown old man with gray hair down to his shoulders emerges from the depths and makes his way toward the beach. You stand, staring as he moves soundlessly across the beach to the broken hulk of an ancient vessel that had been tossed, half hidden among the palms. As you wonder why you hadn't noticed this grizzled wreck before, the old man vanishes into it, through a crude doorway cut into its rotting side. Then, Barney Hogue, you swear under your breath, because you are no longer alone. Your solitude is gone. You begin to reel in, to leave in disgust, when you feel the sudden, strong tugging on your line. The fish breaks water, struggling to spit out the hook, and you see that it is a barracuda. Finally, you bring the vicious scoundrel of the sea to land. You stare down at your gasping catch, shiver at the sight of its bared, ripsaw teeth.
Devil! Well, you're through scaring away good-eating fish.
You pack and leave your shattered paradise, gratified at least that the old man hadn't seen you and subjected you to endless, boring talk. Suddenly, a long black shadow falls across your path. A thin, piping voice brings you up short.
Get off from this property, mister. You don't belong here.
You turn now, Barney, facing the grizzled old man, nude except for a tattered, filthy pair of duck pants that reek of dead fish. He points a rusty, aged musket at your chest.
You gave me, mister. I come first to this property, so it's mine. Now get, before I blast you clean to kingdom come.
Your fright of this frizzled old man with the ancient weapon gives way to anger at having been cheated of your longed-for solitude.
I was going, you dirty old coot, but now I've got a mind to stay.
Try staying, mister, and I'll be cutting you up for shark bait.
There's a cold glint in his ice blue eyes, and his sun-bronzed, cross-hatched skin draws taut across his jaws. You relent in the face of the weapon in the old man's tightened grip, and you move off angrily through the pines. Boiling with resentment, you stow your gear into your car, then you gaze back towards the beach, unwilling to bow to the old one's ill will.
He bluffed me away, but I'm not leaving. I'll show that old crank. I'll burn him out. I'll set fire to that filthy wreck he lives in, and I'll burn him out for good.
Slowly, silently, stealthily, you make your way back to the barnacle and salt-encrusted wooden carcass of half a once-proud vessel. You're filled with vindictiveness and curiosity. You stop outside the rotted door. A metallic gleam catches your eye.
What? What's that? In the sand. Looks like
You pick up the glittering object. You study it, turning it over in your hand.
It is! It's a real gold coin. Real gold!
Your first reaction is to get away with your prize. You hurry, stumbling to your car, the ancient gold doubloon clutched tightly in your sweaty palm. You drive hastily off the lonely quay, speeding northward across the overseas highway bridges.
Maybe the coin's been there the whole time and the old coot never noticed it.
Isn't that ridiculous, Barney? Think again. That's it. Now you've got it.
Or maybe he's got more hidden in that rack. A fortune in gold, maybe.
You ease up on the gas. You stop running. You think some more as you cruise slowly northward. Soon you reach another quay, roll up to an eatery there, and walk towards it.
What if the lunatic is sitting on a fortune in gold? What good would it do him? He's too old to enjoy it.
You sit at a fly-flecked counter, staring at the menu, hardly seeing it.
And who'd believe him if he babbles to the law about his gold being missing? For that matter, who'd miss the old man?
Yes, sir?
So, Barney Hogue, greed and determination etch themselves into your face as you make your decision.
I'm going back there tonight. And if he's got more gold, I'm gonna get it.
What'll it be, mister?
You arrive back at the old man's quay along with the night. Park as you did that morning among the palmettos, and taking a jack-handle, you quit your car. Quiet whisperings in the pines accompany your slow approach to the beach. The elegiac chirps of cicadas surround you. Within you feel the rapid thumping of your heart. A rising gibbous moon lights your way to the sad hulk among the palms of the beach. Now you are there, Barney, your heavy breathing blending with the breeze-blown palm fronds that sound so much like a summer shower, and with the gentle lapping of the surf upon the nearby shore. A soft orange light glimmers through a crack in the door. You peer in. You see him in the flickering candle glow, his mad eyes gleaming as he lets a trickle of gold coins fall through his gnarled fingers into a wooden box on the rough table at which he sits. The faint ching of clinking metal invites you in. The element of surprise, Barney. Slam open the door. That's it. Scared almost out of his wits, the old man drops his treasure into a dirty, wrinkled cloth and balls it up in his trembling hands.
Yeah, you weather-beaten old miser. You do have more gold pieces.
Huh? What are you talking about, mister? What you want here?
You step toward him. The old man drops his rag-wrapped treasure of doubloons to the floor. Then, bending as though to retrieve them, he comes up again, the rusted old musket in his bony paws, pointed at your head.
See, mister? I've been waiting for you for years. I knowed you'd come and try and steal my treasure. So I prepared. I prepared everything.
No, wait, don't!
The old man chortles, pulls back his forefinger, squeezing the musket's trigger. But nothing happens. No blast, no shot, nothing. The bolt, frozen by years of rust, doesn't move. A cold, twisted grin wreathes your sweat-stained face as he raves on.
You're dead now, mister. I done shot you dead. And now I gotta bury you. I've been ready.
Why, you're as crazy as a bedbug, you smelly old goat!
You leap at him, bringing the iron jack handle down on his skull, feeling the crushing of bone.
I'm prepared.
Again and again you strike, until he sinks lifeless to the floor. Then one more terrible blow as he lies there, just to make sure, and his brains scatter about the worm-eaten boards. You pick up the bundle and empty the coins into the miser's box, throwing the rag away.
28, 29, 30. Only 30 pieces of gold?
You scrabble about the brine-fouled wreck, angrily searching.
There must be more. There's got to be more.
But you've got it all, Barney, and knowing that, you sag to the floor, sick and tired with disappointment. But the old man's piece of dirty cloth catches your eye.
Got line, mark 110 dots, big X, line mark bow tied, and arrow mark N. By God, it's a map! Well, I'll be. It's a treasure map the old man made. It must be where the other half of this ship is. That's what it must be. Yeah, sure, a pirate ship. Broken in two by a hurricane. Half sunk, half washed ashore. This half. That's what he was doing when he was coming out of the water. He was bringing back these coins from the sunk half of the wreck. It's out there.
Slowly, Barney. Slow now. Think it out. You're on to something. Just think it out carefully. Blow out the old man's lantern. That's it. Now go outside. Look out there, at the sea.
I'm not much of an underwater swimmer, but I may be able to rent a diving suit somewhere. Yeah, I'll drive to Key West.
So you drive all night, Barney, and you're in Key West when dawn lights the sky. By late afternoon, you're back at the old man's quay with a diving suit, enough hose to go out 110 yards, a gasoline-driven compressor, the works. Breathing with excitement, you take a spade and start pacing out into the surf. Deeper and deeper you go, out under the rolling breakers, out into the sea, and the sea is alive around you, Barney. Alive and frightening. You go out past the map's 110 yards, and the sea around you is full of wonders, Barney. But no broken pirate hull, no submerged half-hulk do you see.
I must have been crazy to take that old coot's map seriously.
And then you see it, rising like a shadow ahead of you, the marker.
That's it! There ain't no boat. He had the treasure. He wasn't bringing it out. He was bringing it in. Here. Burying it.
There, 6 fathoms down, before the algae and moss-encrusted marker, you begin to dig. You dig down and you dig out, an oblong, empty hole with no coins, no chest, nothing. You climb out bitter with frustration.
Maybe the marker shows which side to dig on. I'll just scrape off the slime.
With your spade, you scrape off the green algae and moss and slime, and you turn cold, staggering back in a frenzy at what you see.
No! No! Good Lord!
Your airline fouls around the marker, stopping you from running. Terrorized, you yank at the rubber tube. The marker tilts forward, slowly falling, as if in slow motion. Pinning you down into the hole you've dug. Pinning you down into your grave. For you know that before long the gas in the compressor out on the shore will run out, and the air will be gone, and you'll suffocate. The old man, the crazy old man, he was right. He did know. He was prepared. The letters cut into the marker laugh at you. Here lies Barney Hogue, born November 10th, 1926, died June 8th, 1954. Like they say, kiddies, Barney dug his hole, now he's dying in it. He thirsted after gold and settled for a belly full of salt water. Well, that's my treasure terror tale for this issue of CK's Morbid Mag. Now I'll turn you back to him for a tale of a blonde flirt who finally made some dessert. Curious? Good. I'll see you next in my mag, The Vault of Horror. Bye now.